What up, folks? I'm Ultrazilla, and this is a very Kaiju Brooklyn 2 Vlogzilla. That's right, my zillions, as you might have heard, here are some of this channel. Kaiju Brooklyn 2 was this past Saturday, and like the title of my vlog recapping it last year, Kaiju Brooklyn 2 was also awesome. And you know what? In a lot of ways, it was even more awesome. The sequel, for me personally, was better than the original. It just exceeded expectations. I didn't know what to expect from the second one. You know, sometimes it's some sophomore blues, you know? And I will say this is always going to be things that could be better. And as someone that was a little more behind the scenes this year than last year, you know, there's things that I think that we could do even better. And I've heard some suggestions, and you know what? I'll talk to the guys, and we'll see how it goes. But I can tell you right now, Kaiju Brooklyn 3 is definitely happening. So the first thing I want to do in this vlog is shout out those guys. You know, John Bellotti Jr., who created Kaiju Brooklyn, and Anthony from BK1, who owns the theater that Kaiju Brooklyn takes place in. Thank you so much for everything you guys do. You have created an event that I think is touching a lot of people, that I think a lot of people are appreciating, and I know myself personally, I couldn't be happier. You know, I mentioned last year that, you know, putting on a show like this is something I've always wanted. So I really want to thank you guys for bringing me aboard and letting me help you guys out with this, because it's kind of been one of those major goals for me, is to, you know, participate in a show like this and, you know, help create it and, you know, shepherd it along the way. So I really thank you guys for allowing me to come in and, you know, work on those panels and help put them together, curate them, if you will. Our meetings have been amazing. Since our first meeting back in January, like, I knew this was like a perfect match. So I'm really thankful, and I look forward to, you know, collaborating further with you guys and seeing where we could take this thing, you know. I think this year was amazing. I think, you know, what we did here was just absolutely incredible. John and Anthony, I hope you guys are resting well this week, because you guys deserve it. You guys look so beat on Saturday, and I understand. You know, Friday was a massive setup. I was there all day Friday helping set up, and it was just awesome. I want to thank the guys of Kaiju United for stepping up as well to help us in the setup, as well as with the panels. Really, like, it was a great effort, a great team effort. I want to thank everybody, you know, all the volunteers, and all of the camera people, and everybody on the BK1 side of things that helped us out. Thank you so much. Ultrazilla Jr. wants to thank you for the bagels as well. You know, like, I really appreciate everybody involved in this show. It was tremendous. I loved being a part of it. I mean, I think it turned out fantastic. Yeah, you know, like, there's things that can be improved on. There's growing pains. I mean, heck, there was growing pains with me, like, just figuring out, you know, how I'm pulling off having a table and, you know, doing 2 panels. I really wanted to try to, you know, be there for more panels. I only, like, kind of showed up for one other one for a little bit, just to make sure everything was running okay. Like, that's gonna be something we'll figure out as we go, but I think it turned out really well. I mean, there's a lot of things we learned with the panels, but boy, do I think that that was such a awesome and welcome addition. I know I'm saying that because I kept pushing for it, but I think it turned out fantastic. We'll figure out. I know some folks have expressed some concerns about where some of the panels took place, and there's concerns. There's valid issues with certain spots the panels were in, and I totally understand. But I gotta say, it was totally awesome having panels in bars and stuff, and having panels in Japan Village, and it was just a very cool thing and different. It made the flavor of Kaiju Brooklyn different because Industry City is super unique. And I think taking advantage of that and bringing in more of Industry City, even as just an announcement to the rest of the community there, because we were pretty insular last year, and while some of the adjacent bars and stuff did some drink specials and stuff, I think this year was more of a coming out party than last year was, and it was a really big announcement to Industry City that we are here to stay. And I think the response from that community of Industry City was a really good thing. So yes, there's things about it that need to be tweaked, and we'll be talking, in the coming year we'll be talking about how to improve things for sure. But I think it was fantastic all around. Now, you saw my panels here on the channel. I hope that was okay, guys. But I felt like it was a really good way to help promote the panels further for further shows. I want to hugely thank Ultrazilla Jr. for videotaping those panels. I mean, it was very shaky cam, and I apologize to everybody for that, but he's 10. He's 10. So, and honestly, I didn't think about recording them in full at the time of getting things prepared. I also knew that BK1 was recording all the panels, though I didn't want to take their footage in any way, so it was better that the footage that I was putting up here was from me, from our family, our channel. So that was very important to me. I'll bring a tripod next year. It was one of those things that just kind of slipped as we were going. Have one. So, it is what it is. You learn from these things. It was my first time doing the panels, so there was things about it, that, you're gonna learn, and you're gonna make mistakes, and you're gonna figure out. But, thank you, Ultrazilla Jr. for that, and everything else he did. He gave out cards, he talked to people at the table. He was really good, and he really enjoyed himself. So I can't ask for anything more. That is the future of kaiju collectors and the whole genre. Is kids his age and younger and a little bit older, and the kids. You know what I'm saying? I've mentioned this before, but it's really an important thing that they enjoy themselves, that they have a good time, and he did. So. Which was awesome. So I do want to thank the folks that were on my panels. I want to thank Heisenberg and G Forever for coming with me to do the toy reviewing and collecting panel. It was more reviewing. It's just I was kind of steering it in a certain direction, but we kept going back and forth. I really think, Heisenberg wanted to talk about certain things, and I wanted to talk about certain things, but that's how, that's how these conversations go, and there's ebbs and flows. So, I think it turned out pretty well. Also, I want to thank Chris of Seismic and Ray of Muteki Sales for the Retailer Summit panel. That was really cool. Now, I do have an idea for next year, that's gonna kind of probably be a combo of the two, so I'll figure it out as I go, but I have ideas, because you constantly want to evolve and you don't want to repeat the same panels exactly as you go. But I think both panels turned out well. I had a good time moderating. I love talking, like you guys know. I love talking, so I think that kind of role suits me. Yeah, I'm a very and type of guy, but that stuff will get better. It's just part of my normal speech pattern. It's hard to kick, but at the same time, it makes me me. So I'm not the biggest, hater on it. But I think we did well. I think both panels turned out really well. The turnouts were really good. I think the turnouts for all the panels, from what I know and understand, were really, really well. Again, thank you to Kaiju United for moderating some of those panels. Really couldn't have done it without you guys. We'll figure things out as we go for next year as well with the panels, so we'll be in touch. But really great dudes. Jacob and Nick, thank you so much for everything and all the meetings, and emails beforehand. Really, I can't thank you guys enough. But speaking of thanks, I gotta thank, really almost most of all here. Gotta thank my wife. I gotta thank Mama Lanty. She was incredible from setup day to really taking point on manning the table on Saturday, because I had to come back and forth a bit. Really, thank you so much. I love you, and I appreciate you and everything you've done to support Ultrazilla. So yeah, it was good, but I think she had a good time. Thank you to our good neighbors, Tokyo Bronx, BXEX, Stacia Maid. Thank you everybody for being good neighbors. That's always good. It's always good to have little conversations. So I really thank you guys for that as well. And speaking of our neighbors, specifically BXE Buttons X Stacia Mode, cool sticker, gave me something to review. He gave me something to review, and that is Dr. Plaguein. He is a Plague Doctor Penguin, and this is very cool. And actually, it's sculpted by Mechazone, who I've reviewed some of his stuff before too. So this is pretty awesome. Very, very cool. I'm really looking forward to this. I do thank you. It also came with some stickers, which is awesome. We got some various cool stickers, a nice little sticker pack in there. And then at the end of the day, Mama Lanty bought me something to celebrate, and it was one of their pins, and it is Mechagodzilla. Showa Mechagodzilla. How cool is this? This is awesome, and this might have to be something I review as well. I have reviewed a pin before, so I don't know. I think I might have to review this. It's just beautiful. Look, it'll be a quick review, but why not? We need some quickies here and there, right? Very, very nice stuff. Good work there. A lot of nice stuff on their table. They will be at 5 Points Festival coming up this weekend, and somebody else is going to be there as well. So let's backtrack a little bit. There was a lot of setup. You guys know I've been posting videos about the stuff I was bringing, and just various hype videos, but there was a lot of work last week. Just was a ton of work each day, either packing, figuring out what I was bringing, making graphics and stuff, because of course at the last minute decided, hey, let's make a banner and I also had to make a new card. I always like to make new cards to give to people. I honestly utilize Walgreens, and I usually get a really super good deal because they always have good deals online for their photos, and I print out 100 photos of as a card, and it always works out. It's really cheap, really quick little hack there, if you will. And I discovered another hack. You could print banners there. And I was able to print a banner, though I think they kind of screwed me a little bit. Walgreens. I asked for a different banner. Granted, it was still super ridiculously cheap on the 20 bucks. And it ended up looking really, really good. And it just made my table, it was like the thing my table needed, you know? Like, so I'm glad it took me all day, honestly, to design it and put it together and, you know, decide on what I wanted to, you know, how I wanted it to look. And then to try to format it perfectly so it actually uploaded to Walgreens photo website, which it wasn't as easy as you would think, but I got it done. It, you know, unfortunately, like, I almost didn't get it done because the first place I sent it to, they didn't, you know, let me know till the next morning that, which was Friday morning, that their machine wasn't working. So I had to send it to another, you know, close Walgreens, and luckily, by the time I got back from setting up, you know, all the tables and stuff at Kaiju Brooklyn and doing a little bit of a walkthrough with, like, John and then Kaiju United, where all the panels were going to be, and helping Ray from Muteki bring in some stuff, the banner was ready. And again, luckily it looked great. And then me and Mama Lanty came back, we set up, and then, you know, we hung out a little bit, not too long. That's part of this that I need to change. I do want to hang out longer after hours. Like, it's hard when you bring your family, you know. But we were there Friday night for a while for the Ultraman Connection panel number 1, which was kind of like an intro to the screening. So that was, you know, going on alongside the VIP party, which was pretty cool. So, like, you know, we got to talk a little bit with some folks and hang out for a little bit. But, you know, then the following night, when it was time for the Godzilla 1984 screening, we kind of like left a little bit before that started. So it is what it is, and it was, you know, the after party to come. But I wish I could stay for that. You know, again, that's something that I want to do because it was something that I used to do in comics. And I kind of got away from it there too. It's just one of those things there. I don't know what it is with me and parties. I used to be better at it, and I want to get better at it. But I think Kaiju Brooklyn, I think they provided some really good stuff as far as that goes. Like, you know, some really cool parties. Parties are, you know, kind of like the lifeblood of some conventions. So it's good that they had 2 parties to end each night. I think that works really, really well. Probably should move around the screening a little bit. You know, like, I think it makes the night too long in a way. So, but, you know, that's something, well, you know, that I will definitely be talking to them about a little bit because, I like the parties, I do. So we'll see how that goes. But the screenings are something that have to happen anyway, because I think screenings are really cool too. So it's just a matter of, like, you know, when to have everything. But, you know, I think all of that stuff turned out really well. I think my table looked really good. Honestly, I'm very, very happy. It was a bit bigger than the table we had last year. I think last year we had a 4-foot table, and this year we had a 6-foot. So thank you for that, for the upgrade. It was cool. And we also changed positions. Not many people changed positions, but we got to change positions. We were in the back, and like straight back. Like, as soon as you walked in, you could actually, if it was like, you know, if you parted the sea of people, you could see straight to the back, and you could see my banner, which was excellent. I really liked that position a lot. So I definitely would love, you know, a similar position. Oh, we'll see how the space plays out when it comes to next year. But honestly, the space was awesome. It looked fantastic. You know, all the vendors looked great. Everybody, like, showed out. And I think, you know, I think there was a lot of variety for folks to choose from and to pick up stuff that they might have wanted. Whether it's art, whether it's toys, you know, other craft stuff, like, yeah, you know, like the pins, like the purses. You know, there was a lot of good stuff there. So it was awesome. You know, it was awesome. You know, I really loved looking around a bit. Now, I didn't get a ton of stuff, and this is gonna be funny because it's kind of goes along the lines of what happened to me last year. So last year at Kaiju Brooklyn, I only picked up 2 things. I got Gigan and the Creature from the Black Lagoon from Muteki Sales and from Midtown Comics, respectively. So I didn't get like too many like I didn't like look at too many like old toys. I did look at one that I really regret, you know, not getting. A Gridman that Seismic had. I really wanted it, but I didn't pull the trigger. But this is why I ended up picking up last year. Now, you might have seen, if you haven't, do check it out. I did post it earlier, right after preview night. I came back and, or VIP night, I should say. It's kind of like preview night, right? And I recorded a unboxing of the SH Monster Arts Godzilla X Kong and Godzilla. Those were the, you know, those variants. I did do an unboxing of them that went up Saturday night while I was at the con. Like I thought, I was never gonna have time to make a video. And this whole week has been Kaiju Brooklyn, by the way. Like, you know, sorry guys. That's the videos. I had to, you know, really edit those 2 panels. So, you know, like I said, there was a lot of shaky cam. So I had to edit them in a way that, you know, made it, be presentable, I guess, you know. So that took a long time. But I really wanted to get those out. But that was part of it, the unboxing of those. Now, the funny thing I was saying is, I only picked up stuff from Muteki Sales, which is where those Godzilla X Kong things came from, and Midtown Comics. Though, however, this time, it was from Midtown Comics' actual table at the convention. And I grabbed some vintage stuff, so that was good. I got the vintage T-Rex Zord and a Sabertooth Tiger Zord from the original Megazord from back in the 90s. Now, the stickers are like all crunched up, but otherwise, like actually the stickers on the Sabertooth Tiger isn't that bad, but this guy, you know, his stickers aren't so hot. I do think that, I think Toy Hacks might have stickers for these guys. I'll have to check for the original Megazord. But this was awesome. I saw it on their table right when I walked in. It's the first table. And I'm like, oh boy, I really can't leave those there because they were really cheap. They were $10 each. I mean, look, $10 each. I, you know, even with the stickers being like they were, I had to grab them. Then I saw something else that I was just like, ooh, I kind of want those too. But I waited till the end of the day. I went back, and if they had them, they had them. And I grabbed 2 more vintage figures with Lord Zed, and I forget this dude's name. And I don't even know if this was from like Power Rangers or Big Bad Beetleborgs. I can't remember. I don't know. They were together, and I'm like, I gotta have them. This one was $20, and this one was $10 also. So yeah, I mean, look, this to me is awesome. You know, like in both of my panels, I talked about, you know, my motto here: diversity in your collection. You know, you guys know I like Power Rangers. A lot of stuff behind me right here, and just to get some vintage stuff, it's too cool. It was too cool. It's too like hard to pass up. These guys have some scuffs, but you know, for the price, I was very happy. Like that to me just was like I said in one of the one of the panels, it was a breath of fresh air to get like something that wasn't like a Godzilla thing at a Godzilla show. So those were the 4 things that I picked up besides the Muteki sale stuff, which, you know, Ray gave them to me on the setup day. Like, he gave it to me, like, as he got there, he's like, oh, I got your stuff. So I was like, great, I'll just take him home now, which, again, totally worked out. And I'm not showing them, you know, the actual figures here again because they're both back in the boxes, but you saw them. You know, so, you know, again, not a ton of stuff, but not a ton of time. Like, between the 2 panels and manning the table, it was packed. It was awesome. What an awesome crowd. You know, there was so many cool people there. The fans were fantastic. Like, I am blown away by like the reception. Like, it is incredible. Like, like I said this last year, and it was even more so this year. The amount of people that actually came up to the table and knew me as Ultrazilla and what I do is just like incredible. And it was like I said, it was more this year than it was last year, and it was just amazing. I took multiple pictures with folks. I signed some cool art that this cool kid did. He's a subscriber. Great job. Really, really awesome. Now, I can't remember everybody's handles. Like, some folks were telling me handles, but just trust me, man. Like, just like, you know, seeing you guys, shaking your hands, like, it meant the world to me. You know, comment down below if you watched this video, if you were one of those folks. Because high fives, all of you. You made my day. You know, like, any time that happens, it's just absolutely, like, incredible. And it's definitely, like, the best part of doing this is that. You know, the panels are awesome. I loved it. Like, that was, like, an amazing new addition. It's something I felt like I needed to do. And that was very cool. But, like, it still doesn't hold a candle to meeting like your subs and the people that like watch you and support you, and like that's cool, you know, like that is so cool. Like, I mean, it just blows me away, honestly. So once again, those folks made my day, and I really thank every one of you. You know, to all my fellow like content creators that was you know, that had come by, like Thirsty Thursday Toys, like he was in one of my earlier videos this week, as well as Kaiju Kim, who I didn't get a pic of. She was there, and very cool to talk to her a little bit. Gotta get you in on those panels next year. You know, like, there was a bunch of folks, you know, that had come up to me and talked for a little while, and you know, are doing their own thing. I was interviewed a couple times as well during the day, which was very cool. So look out for those on the website. I'll probably like post them to my Facebook page when I see them pop up. So very cool. It's like, oh, one of the dudes that like you know, Big Boss Kaiju from I don't know if that's his name on it, but like in Kaiju Big Battle, like the announcer dude, he was one of the dudes that interviewed me. That was very cool. At the time of the interview, I'm like, I know this guy from somewhere, and I couldn't place it until like I got home. I was like, oh, that's who that was, which was fine. Like, because, you know, it made me like not geek out or something, because I really like Kaiju Big Battle. It's very cool, and they're gonna be at 5 Points Festival this coming weekend, as well as somebody else you know. Oh, and I almost forgot, huge shout out to the McKennas of Muteki Sales fame for giving this a cool, I think it's a Banpresto. Is it a Banpresto? Yeah, it is. Ultraman X to Ultrazilla Jr. This is very cool. I'm sure he's gonna love it. We haven't had a chance to open it. It was in one of my bags, but you know, hey, we might review it too. I'll probably review it Ultrazilla Jr. who wants to be on the channel more now. You know, that's one of the things that came out of this. He wants to be on the channel more, and I have no issue with that. So thank you again. And you know, the last thing I want to talk about is like, you know, our table again. And we did really good again, like we did last year. I really thank anybody that bought something from the table. I hope you enjoy, appreciate the, you know, the stuff, because it all comes from my collection. You know, like I said this throughout like the 2 days. Like I don't consider myself a retailer. You know, like I consider myself a reviewer and a collector that has way too many things. So. To be able to part with like a good amount of those in one shot is awesome. And like I've mentioned, I price my stuff to be able to do that. honestly, it's not worth it for me if I don't do that, you know? And not just because of the sales made, but because I don't want to bring that stuff back. Like, I want to be able to sell that stuff, and, you know, I want to make, you know, I'm glad I priced it cheaper, because I want to make people happy. And I said that last year too, and it's the truth. Like, I wouldn't do it if, you know, I didn't think there was value to doing that. It felt like people came back from last year. Like, there was a lot of customers that came back from last year that I remember, that tried to do deals with me and stuff, and that's cool. I have no problem with that. Can't always do them, because like, I would, you know, sometimes I'm able to, but you know, I'm already pricing this stuff so cheap that sometimes it gets a little bit tough to be able to give additional discounts. But, you know, like, I appreciate every sale, and, you know, like, I may not be a retailer, but I also am, you know, I'm not ignorant when it comes to this stuff. Like, I know what this stuff is worth and what people charge for it. And like I said last year, I try to be the anti-toy, normal kaiju toy retailer, you know, because it's important for me as a reviewer as well, like, as someone that has a channel and is out there in the public eye, like, you know, to make people happy and to remember that, and, you know, establish that connection. So it works out for me. Like, I am paid back, you know, a zillionfold just by the, you know, remembering me, and, you know, maybe coming to my channel and just enjoying themselves, you know, the folks enjoying themselves and seeing them being happy, and like, it brings me happiness to be able to do that. So you know, like, I'll never fault people that are doing this for a living, like, how they price their stuff. You know, like, it's you know, I don't always agree with it, you know, and I've said this before too, but you guys do you. You know, like, I'm only doing this because of what I'm, you know, how I'm approaching this, and what, you know, the retail part of this, what the table part of this is to me. It's a promotional tool in a way, you know, like, and I get to, you know, get rid of some stuff because it's too much, and you know, like, it's nice to make some money, you know, like, even though, like, yeah, it's probably compared to what things are worth, like, or what they were even cost at times, like, you know, I'm probably not making it back, but, like, I don't really think about that stuff. I really don't, guys, because, you know, between the reviews and, like, how, you know, stuff like that, like, I've already gotten my value out of them. Now it's just time to, like, move them on. So whatever I make it of, you know, from them is like gravy, and it's awesome. And it was great. Like, that part of it was absolutely excellent. Again, thanks again to my wife for manning the table a large portion of the day. So I really appreciate her doing that. And I really appreciate all you guys, and I hope you, again, enjoy the stuff that you got from my table. There's a lot of variety. You know, I brought, like, more, like, Power Ranger stuff, and there's gonna be even more next time with the Power Ranger stuff. I brought, like, some dinosaurs, and that some sold, so that's good. You know, you kind of have to gauge how the stuff goes, but a lot of these things that I collect do go together. Dinosaurs are giant. Megazords are giant. You know, the Power Rangers are tokusatsu. Like, all of this stuff, like, kind of goes together. So, more giant robots maybe coming. I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot here, and I wanted to work together even more. So, you know, we'll see how I curate my table next year. We'll see about a lot of things that'll happen next year. But I think this Kaiju Brooklyn 2 turned out very awesome. I had a great time. I think most folks that went had a great time. Like, from what I've seen, the feedback has been mostly positive, and that is awesome for all of us involved in this, and for all of you on the East Coast, because we do want to make this a destination and an event that you want to come to. You know, like, you know, there's room for a huge kaiju convention here on the East Coast, and I feel like we're gonna get even bigger, and I think we're gonna make things even grander and more awesome as it goes. So do stay tuned. You know, next year is just around the corner. Lots of planning to happen, and you'll see hype, I'm sure, soon enough. So, but for now, Kaiju Brooklyn 2 is in the books. I had a great time. I got some really cool stuff. I met some really cool people. Got to do some panels with some folks that I really like. And, you know, what more can you ask for? What more can you ask for? It was just tremendous. There you go, guys. That is my Vlogzilla convention report. Till next time. Peace out.